Welcome to Manny's TV Talk, where we will talk about all of our favorite reality TV shows and news surrounding them. Grab a snack, a drink, and get comfortable because this starts now. Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about The Real Housewives of Miami, Season 6, Episode 14. Let's get right into this.
Shut the f*** up! You shut the f*** up! You shut the f*** up! Shut the f*** up! You shut the f*** up! You shut the f*** up! Now I'm standing up. You was standing up. You was because you guys, you're talking to me. Why the f*** did you get?
Yo, you guys, what a freaking episode. This was something else. Like, it was a whole other level, but let's get right into it. So, we are continuing our trip to La Ciudad de Mexico, Mexico City. It's a new morning. Nicole has made it. She made it the night before because she had to work. But she's there. That's the good thing. And Julia went over to her room to tell her all about the night before and the crazy dinner that they had with those naked men. So the women then all get ready because they are going to church. Alexia is taking them to the main cathedral in Mexico. We know from episodes prior to this one why this is very important to Alexia. Julia, unfortunately, is feeling a little sad because when she lost her son, I think her son was still a baby, she kind of like resented religion after that. But I appreciate her sharing and going to the church despite of that. So they make their way there and they enter the church. And I said this actually on my Beverly Hills recap. I'm not Catholic, I'm Christian, but there is nothing more beautiful than a Catholic church, like the building itself, especially this one in Mexico City. It's very nice. So they make their way in and they all, for the most part, feel the holiness of the church. I mean, you had Guerdy, Larsa, Alexia, Nicole all crying as they bowed down. Guerdy was like saying, "I'm scared," as she was there like praying, and Alexia says to her, "She's listening to you. You know, she did this for Frankie." This was an amazing, unique, different moment of unity that I feel like we haven't seen in other Housewives shows, at least not in this way, because for all of them to be there praying for Guerdy, rallying behind her, it was powerful. Because even Larsa, who was being rude the night before, talking about fake tears, she was like holding and comforting Guerdy. It was beautiful. So then they go back to the hotel and they change so they can do the rest of the day's activities. We see Lisa, she's on the phone with her attorney, so there was a settlement agreement that both parties they could both agree on. Lisa isn't particularly thrilled about it, like she's not happy or excited, but she's okay with it, so that's better than nothing. So they will now review it and then send it to Lenny's side so they can sign it. Then she hangs up and then she gets a call from Lenny. Now that had to be cut out the episode because Lenny didn't give his consent to be on the camera. But what we do know is that when she ended the call, she said, "I can't believe this guy." Apparently he added a little something to the settlement. Then the women get out. They're about to do something else. Also, Julia kept kissing everyone on the lips. Like, she kept kissing Kiki and even Marysol. It was crazy that she kissed Marysol. So Lisa did tell some of the women who were on her sprinter what that little thing that Lenny added was to the settlement. So it said that she wasn't allowed to have another man permanently reside in the place that Lisa is going to get, which is messed up. But I can kind of see why an ex-husband would do that. It's crazy, but I kind of see it. But Lisa did agree to it, so she's going to sign this settlement. So then they get to some gangola rides. Essentially, they're very colorful and decorated boats. And it's super cool because they actually had one named, I think it was like Miami Mamis or something like that. But so it was unique for this group. So that was cool. And y'all, they had real authentic Mexican food on the boat. Like they had some tacos, cilantro, limon, un tequila. I loved it. I love the vibes. Everything is super fun. But Lisa starts to cry. So it was hard for her to agree to this settlement. She kind of feels weird that she agreed to it and that she's going through. She kind of feels like she failed herself. She really is crying and saying that this is the end. Adriana says, but you know what? You could also see it as the beginning of something else. They were all encouraging her to feel better. So they keep riding on top of the water. Lisa is so crazy. She wanted to go help the guy who was rowing the boat. Then Adriana gets a call from Emilio Estefan. He wants to make sure that Adriana is ready for her big performance. And she says, yes, it's going good. She's learning the choreography. She loved the dancers that she met. And she says that she wants to make him proud. I was also happy that everyone was happy for Adriana, including Alexia. So then they raised their cups and they cheered for Adriana in this amazing performance that she's gonna be giving. And they also cheer for Lisa for a new beginning. Then you guys, this killed me. So somehow, talking about Lisa, Jodi was brought up. And Larsa, out of nowhere, turns to Lisa and says, by the way, if you ever lost Jodi, you would regret it. Because no one else is going to put up with your ish. Lisa's like, well, that's kind of effed up to say. And Larsa says, well, you're like a little baby. And Lisa says, well, you're like a bully. I was laughing so hard because what Larsa said was true. I don't know what other man besides Jodi's going to put up with Lisa's BS. But then they just kept having fun. They dared Lisa to jump in the water, but she says no because she doesn't want to catch herpes by jumping in the water. That tells you a little bit about Lisa's intellect. Julia kept kissing girls. She kissed Adriana, Marysol again, poor Martina. So they're riding and then they go past this little poor house that was like barely up, falling. And someone makes a comment like, oh, like, let's be grateful that we're privileged and we don't have to live there. Which, I mean, it's true, but like, I could see how that could be a little insensitive when you say it like that. And Kiki took it a little insensitive because in Haiti, a lot of people have houses like that. And then also, they went also past another house where there were 2 dogs. And, and everyone's like, oh my God, look at the dogs. Lisa's crazy ass says they look hungry. So she gets some tacos from the table and throws them across from the boat for the dogs to catch. And the other girls had like secondhand embarrassment. And Alexia kept saying, eso no se puede hacer, which means you can't do that. Alexia even said, like, how would Lisa feel if in Miami, some strangers were on a boat, they passed by Lisa's house, they saw her dogs, and they threw a food at them. That's like messed up. So when everyone tells Lisa to sit her ass down, Lisa says, well, it's okay. I'm pretty sure that what I just threw them is much better than whatever they're being fed. So Kiki says, Lisa, that's not nice. Don't say things like that. You don't know what they're being fed. So Lisa, and I'm sure she was trying to be funny, but she gets up and screams, I was trying to feed animals. I love animals. And Kiki says, don't get up and scream at me. So what does Lisa do? She gets up again and starts screaming. So Kiki says, sit down, and throws, I think it was like a juice box. She kind of just throws it across the table. So Lisa goes off. She says, you just threw something at me. You assaulted me. And Kiki says, you can't be screaming at me and standing up and acting like I'm not going to get mad. And Lisa says, shut the F up. And Kiki says, you shut the F up. So then Kiki gets up as well and they start screaming and going off. Their heads were blowing off. They're all trying to get them to calm down. And Lisa says, don't you ever throw anything at me ever again. And Lisa, I'm telling y'all, she was unhinged. She was losing her mind. Then she starts to cry and scream and says, I just signed the hardest thing in my life. And then this is what surprised me though. Larsa says, Lisa, you're trying Kiki to a point that you don't try anyone else. You told her to shut the F up, and that's not nice. I was like, wow, okay, another point for Larsa this episode. And then Lisa says, well, you know what? F all of y'all. Everyone can shut the F up. And Alexia says, well, we can say the same thing to you, Lisa. You can shut the F up too. Oh my gosh. Then Larsa says, you know what, everyone, today was a beautiful day. We went to church. Why don't we do another prayer? They hold hands. Adriana was going to lead the prayer, but her prayer was kind of horrible. So they're like, no. And then, actually, when they were trying to pray, they try to get Lisa's hand, because they were all holding hands. Lisa's in the corner talking about, I'm okay, leave me alone. Oh my gosh. But then and also Lisa was like rage texting someone about everything that was going on. But then you guys, they go past like a bunch of like baby dolls being hanged from like trees and wires. Listen, I'm Mexican and I never heard of this crap. Like, this was creepy and scary. And the guy did explain that there's like some sort of legend and I've never heard of it, but it was super creepy. Like, I'm telling y'all. And poor Julia was freaking out. That was crazy, you guys. But that was the end of the episode. Wow, what a crazy episode, truly. But next week, it'll be good. It'll be Adriana's performance, and I can't wait for that. But again, you guys, I love this episode. It definitely was all over the place, and that boat ride was something else. And then I also found it hilarious how they would pass other boats, and Larsa would just be like, "Hola!" Oh my gosh. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. What do you think about Kiki? Do you think she had a right to get mad? I do. But yeah, let me know. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.